Hi guys, welcome back to another video. So this is a custom tactics video where we'll be looking at kind of like a SARRI ball-esque way of playing FIFA, and so I'll just show you the like basics a bit in kickoff because it's easier to like just pass around without having to worry about working your way around an opponent. And then um, we'll quickly go to ultimate team after that. So the way you line up is the 4-2-4-3-3 holding. We'll just make sure that so you ideally want a striker who has some kind of physical. You don't want a striker with like 60 strength, 50 strength, like for example that new flashback Mertens. You want someone like at least 70, 75, like or one of those players like Lucas Moura, who even though he doesn't have much strength on paper, he's just strong in game, because some players like that are just broken. So for your wingers, you want one winger who's like kind of creative. So you want good dribbling, good passing, good shooting, good pace, like an all-rounder. Doesn't need to have the most blistering pace. So like around 90 should be enough, and he should basically just have a lot of dribbling and passing. You can use this winger on either side, but then your midfielders will also be affected, which I'll get to shortly. On the other side, you want someone with pace. So like 95 plus pace off, like with the chemistry style. I definitely think chemistry style do something some people don't, but yeah, so you want someone with ideally 95 plus pace with the chemistry style so that you can just make runs. Because while this winger is creative, I would like, for example, I like focusing my play on this left hand side because you have Willian, who's more creative. I'd put Conte here, and yeah, Kovacic is the more attacking of my midfielders, so I'll attack down, and Alonso is more attacking of my fullback, so I can attack down this side while Pulisic is making runs on this side. So if he's free, if the opponent is like coming to the side with the ball, Pulisic will be able to make runs in behind and get goals like that. So yeah, in the midfield you want on the left, on the side with your more creative winger, you want your more attacking midfielder. So this is like kind of like the cam kind of, so he doesn't have to have good that, like his defensive stats don't need to be that good. In this example we're using Kovacic. Your CDM, okay, so this is the unique part of this. Let's say the 2 or 3 attributes I value the most in the CDM in this kind of formation and tactic is the passing and the dribbling. You want someone who can turn and someone who can pass. You also ideally want someone with like a 4-star weak foot, so you can pass with both feet. 3 stars, sometimes you'll end up messing up passes because you'll also have to give like RBA passes and RBX, those driven passes, which the players might mess up on their weak foot. You'd rather be safe than sorry. Your centre backs have to be quick, so like 90 plus pace for the chemistry style. They need to be fast, and they need to be able to come back, and because you'll be playing fairly high depth, they need to be able to come back. Fullbacks can be, I like to have one fullback with like a good all-round stats, so good passing and all right shooting. Like Alonso is who I use in Ultimate Team as well, and he has quite good shooting. So striker, I would put if it's someone like Abraham or Suarez or Benzema with like really good physicals, I would use a target man. But in Ultimate Team, I use mixed attack because Lucas Moura doesn't have the best physicals. On one winger, you would put just get in behind and get into the box of the cross. On the other, you want stay forward and free roam, so he's not pressing like with the rest of the team. He's still staying forward, and you can give a long ball to him to start your counter attacks, and also get into the box for the cross. This one you want to get forward, free roam. You want to cut passing lanes, stay back while attacking. You can use drop between defenders, but sometimes I feel like that's like he drops back a bit too much, so stay back is better in my opinion, and cover center. On Conte, you'd want aggressive interceptions, cover center. Aggressive interceptions, basically what this does is he will play like a balanced player, but he also tends to come back more on the defense because, like, yeah, you've asked him to be more aggressive. The only problem with this is, yeah, even players with good stamina tend to get tired. You might want to swap this. This is a position you might need to sub out later on. So I've actually been experimenting with this a lot. You can put both on balance, but I found that it's actually better to have one and stay back. like in one of the games I'll show you, Militao actually had like most passes, and not dribble. I don't think he had the most dribbles, but like the most passes other than my CDM, which is the most important player in this formation. Militao, like who was my right back, he had the most. So that shows that like he kind of like when you have the ball, he will be like a little more advanced than the center back. So around with the CDM. So yeah, maybe at that level, like you when you're holding the ball there, he helps. So depth you would put on 7 or 8. You want your width on like 3 or 4, and I use press after possession loss so you can win the ball back fast. You can go with higher depth. I think less than 7 is too little, and more than 8 is like I can't defend well enough to like warrant that high of a depth. So 8 is the most I can go with. Possession for sure. You've all seen Chelsea play when SARRI was at the wheel, and width on attack, again, you want to be able to stretch up when it's a 7 or 8 width even. And players in the box, I leave it on balanced 5 because you change the tactics for most of the players who you want to get into the box. And yeah, those runs are always useful. Corners and free kicks is completely your choice. Doesn't really, I mean, it matters, but like I said, it doesn't really help the way you're gonna play. So yeah, we'll just go ahead and start this game. So I'm just gonna use this, just play around like for 5 minutes to show you guys how to. Oh, I like working the ball with this formation. So like I said, the most important player in this game is your CDM, right? You will notice like I'll show you after the Ultimate Team games how this player always ends up having the like one of the most passes and one of the most most dribbles. You also need to keep in mind that you can't really mess up his passes. You need to be careful with your passing with the CDM and the centre backs. Like you can see that the Conte made that run. You need to look for those runs, and I like playing first time passes a lot, which is something you saw Chelsea do. It's not the best in this game, but you can work with it. Again, you can see your one of your sentiments like Conte wins the ball back there. And now Tammy Abraham's dropping back and helping. This formation is all about overloading the midfield. So you have 3 midfielders, and the most used formation in this game is the 4-4-2. I mean the 4-2-3-1 and the 4-4-2. And if the 3 midfielders in this kind of sit in between in the when you're playing up against the 4-2-3-1, so you have a lot of space in the midfield. And in the 4-4-2, they outman the midfield, the central midfield at least. So you can see here, like your centre backs would be around the half line, so you can always pass back. Jorginho is always that to look back to, and you can get the goal there. But you can see that it's very easy to work the ball into the box. And Willian, who's our left winger, was on the right side because you put him on freedom, so he will definitely roam around a lot and create chances like that for you. You want to make sure that the player who you're playing at left center mid, so your more attacking central midfielder, has very good dribbling. You don't want someone like let's say, I don't know, like Kevin De Bruyne would work, but someone with like really bad dribbling, like maybe Ballack or someone like that. And at CDM, you also don't want someone really stiff. You don't want someone like Vieira or Sissoko. I found that Lone Perlo, who's in the seasons, works very, very well. But then again, I still haven't used him in particular in Foot Champs. In Foot Champs, I've only used SEN in that role, and he fits it fine. But the problem with SEN is he's only 3-star skill mode, and he doesn't turn the fastest, so you end up doing a lot of dragbacks, which like gets readable for the opponent a lot of times. You can see that we're using like this formation is all about third man runs. Yeah, again another shooting opportunity there. You'll notice, you wouldn't notice it against the AI, but then when you are using this formation, you tend to create a lot of space on the wings because you're playing such high width, and a lot of people defend narrower because the crosses aren't that useful in this game, right? So they're willing to give you space on the width. So you'll see here, Pulisic just come back a little to defend. Oh, we lost the ball. So yeah, I think that should be it, guys, for the kickoff gameplay. Okay, wait, we'll just see how this move turns out. You can see here, Willian on free roam has come all the way to help out on this side. And scores the goal on the right side of the pitch. So that's how you need to end up using this formation. And you need to ensure that you don't mess up passes with your center backs in your CDM, because you're pretty much screwed if that happens, because you're playing on such a high depth. And everyone has fast fast attack at this point. So there's no way that you're gonna catch up. Alright guys, so now we'll just jump into the ultimate team portion of this video. Alright guys, so in the Foot Champs gameplay, this is the first team we're playing. It's quite a weird team because he has like some nice players, and then he has that 77 rated goalkeeper and Bobby Moore are really on the par. So we went behind fairly early to some really weird goals, like a long shot at Fernandinho and stuff that wasn't worth showing. You can see that we were creating a lot of chances with Lucas Moura and Alonso on that left hand side, because like I said, it's your more creative side. We're a little unlucky there with David Silva to not. Oh, I might have said Bernardo earlier. I'm just so used to using him. But yeah, so that is the more creative side. But I actually tended to use the right hand side a lot as well, because like I said, the opponents tend to leave one of the sides open, because when you're playing a 7 with not many opponents like fully cover the wingers with manually cover the wingers with their fullbacks, and even if they do, you can still abuse it because it's not that easy. There you can see David Silva wins the foul, and I had to switch Balak and Essien because I forgot to put Perdlo into CDM. I had Balak in instead, so he was there. Our opponent manages to head this off the line. Quite smart from him. I should have done something else. We get the ball to David Silva, and David Silva wins another foul. He won the first foul, he wins it again. David Silva is just something else, man. If you watch this video, you will want to do that SPC. He's such a force in the midfield, and you'll even see some of the defensive contributions were quite good. I would even play him as a CDM. Maybe not the lone CDM in this formation, because his defensive stats are not quite good enough, but as you can see here, he's just so smooth and silky on the ball, and skill moves come off so well with him. It's a treat to use. You can see we're moving the ball really quickly side to side, and we're trying to do a lot of first time passes. Sometimes the passes, as you saw a little earlier, it doesn't always come off, but these first time passes are really important, so you can catch out those runs and really move the ball forward. And if you can't move the ball forward, then your aim is to quickly move it to the other side and recycle the ball until you get it. That's how a lot of people play FIFA, but I'm trying to do it fast with the first time passes, and that's really what SARRI ball is. Here you can see we create a nice goal, working the ball to the wing and bringing it back for David Silva to finish. That's what the finish shot rate gives you, those really nice curlers. Another really good chance we created Pedro. Like I said, that right hand side always free, but sadly we tried sweating it instead of shooting and cost us there. Some really nice dribbling with David Silva. He gets a bit lucky to keep the ball there, but like I said, really nice dribbling. You can see we're coming back a lot with Lucas Moura, even though he's still unbalanced, and that's because you need to manually do that. If you can't, then maybe you can put him on target man or false 9 to make him drop back a bit, but ideally you want to be bringing him back and keep him on balance so he can make those runs in behind. Because Lucas Moura has what, like 98 pace. He can, if you use fake shots properly, you can pretty much, and he's fairly strong, so you can pretty much outpace almost any center back in the game. Here you can see us trying to defend. Essien is our lone CDM. I really like, and we actually mess it up there, but we again pull out the center back manually. I really like, not that I like it, I feel like I have to do it, especially with this formation. I really like playing aggressively and pulling players out a little bit, not too much. I still like the jockey, you don't slide in and all that. You have to be careful, because if you mess up, like I said, you're screwed. But it's always good to win the ball back fast, because I want the ball, I want to be able to do things with it. This is just showing how great this formation is in the midfield. You have a lot of midfielders, especially with the winger and free roam, and if you have your striker, if you bring him back, you have a lot of like density in that midfield, and it really helps you, and you can complete these first time passes really well. That we just weren't able to get that first opening with David Silva, but we managed to win the ball back and get the ball to Coutinho, who was in a really nice position there, but we just about couldn't finish. Maybe I should have gone near post there and not with the finesse shot. But now we found Coutinho again. He comes in, cuts inside nicely. We pass the ball to Lucas Moura, who turns, does a step over, goes inside, and just does what Lucas Moura does, just squeezes and wriggles his way through those centre backs. And I think the opponent tried controlling Bobby Moore and bringing him there, but he just wasn't fast enough. Here we got the ball to Pedro. We're moving the ball out wide. We're bringing it back. We're really working it into the box to create a nice shooting opportunity. And then there we get the ball to David Silva. And David Silva with another goal. He is really one special card, man. For that centre mid role, he's perfect. That 99 attack positioning and 99 dribbling is very noticeable. And he's really a joy to use. 3-star weak foot is a bit of a bummer, but like you saw that, I actually half expected him to take that with his right, but he ended up taking that with his left, which is quite impressive. So here's the second game. You saw the team, really nice team. He had 2 gold cards. I don't know why. So I think that was because you can see we're just playing the ball off of kickoff here. We're waiting for the formation to change properly. This game we did put in Perlo. I didn't forget. It's this loan icon with no particular chem style because I don't want to waste one on a loan. And you can see we're working the ball really nicely. And we're really just working the ball here. Again, you can see how much space Pedro has there. Doing some skill moves to get him off nicely. Coutinho here, again free roaming, really opening up the space, and we mess up that move there with a stupid pass. Again, you can see how important Perlo is, and the skill moves with him are really nice. I really liked him in this role. Again, that his passes, there's just something about them. I don't press RB when I was doing his balls, but they had like a bit more power on them, and they had this kind of dip, which you'll see. And here you can see me using those 5-star skills, which would really helpful. I really like Perlo in this position. The only problem was, as you'll see, some of his interceptions and stuff there. You can see we get the goal with Lucas. I didn't actually low driven it, but it worked. That was some nice defensive work from Perlo. You can see that. Really just working the ball. He is the heart. This CDM is the heart, and you want someone good there. Toni Kroos would be very good there, because even though he's not the most agile, he has a 5-star weak foot and he has 99 in all the important passing stats. So he can pass from almost any angle. He doesn't really even have to turn. He just needs to receive and pass in whatever angle. Again, I'm just messing up these moves, man. Like, again, you can see there's just something about that pass. I don't think any other player's pass would get to the player, like get to Pedro that fast. We're trying to create some space with Lucas, and we end up losing it. Here we win the ball. That's again some defensive work from David Silva, which is really nice to see. And he keeps the ball, like, because he just keeps the ball so close to him. It's so hard to tackle him. Him and Perlo linking up well, and then Coutinho, and then Lucas, and he's shielding the ball, fighting for the ball, but just about loses it. We managed to win the ball back again. That's the press after possession last tactic. You need to rush and win the ball back fast. There you can see a brilliant switch of play from Perlo. We're just trying to get the ball wide. We managed to cut it back to SCN. SCN with some nice left stick dribbling. There, get the ball back to Militao, who was very solid this game. Get the ball to Lucas. We do the dummy. The dummy throws him off, and what a goal that was. Lucas Moura at the double. Yeah, David Silva just... that guy just didn't know what to do when David Silva got the ball. He was that good. Yeah, we can see. I was really trying to abuse Fuchs because he's not the best left back. He's a decent centre back. I mean, yeah, he's a decent at centre back, but he's not the best left back. So I definitely saw that weakness, and I was changing my game plan to attack it. I was definitely attacking more on the right side this game because of that. You can see again, those 5-star skill moves with Perlo are just so nice, and it's so sad that such few CDMs in this game. I'm pretty sure Thiago would be a really nice fit there, like at that lone CDM, because you have your other player on aggressive interception, so you can control your right center mid in my case to come back and do your defensive duties. There you can see Perlo actually messed up, but here again a very fast and nice pass. He does the 1-2 because I know Fuchs. Look at that, Pedro just runs around before he can turn. I just know that Fuchs can't handle Pedro, who's just so good. There you can see SCN, and Pedro's runs are so nice, and he gets off a decent shot there. Maybe could have gone near post, wouldn't have been blocked, but that was a good shooting opportunity. Now we're just creating space with Silva. Again, he's just moving away, and we find the space to pass to Coutinho, who does a really nice skill. Probably should have passed it, but I took the shot, and we didn't score. Now you can see we're kind of counter-attacking chance, but we had to slow it down a bit. Pirlo again with a body feint, really nice dribbling. And we work the ball out wide to Alonso, who really provides nice width. We tried getting it back to him here, but the back heel just didn't go through. Again, you can see Alonso winning the ball. Alonso's passing is very nice. It's very important to have fullbacks passing like Lala, Alonso, and most Tots fullbacks have decent passing, even Trent. Again, David Silva winning the foul. He's just if he's dispossessed, it's because he's fouled. Essien with some really nice dribbling. Again, Pirlo just creating the chance. David Silva to Lucas, and we do a drag back, which is just too easy to read now because everyone does it. I should have tried something else, thought of something else, but that was just foolish from me. Now you can see Coutinho. We tried getting the pass to Alonso, who was making that nice run, but then he tripped for some reason. This was really stupid from me. Aguero gets in that position, he's not gonna miss, especially on his right foot. Now you can see we're playing out the back. We play that nice through ball to Eder Militao. There's a 1-2 with Pedro, gets the ball back to Essien, to Pirlo, to David Silva, to Coutinho. It's just quick one-touch passing in the midfield, and you know that's such an advantage of this formation. You can move the ball around your midfield and not get tackled, and there we mess up a bit with Coutinho. Here David Silva again on the ball, just a skill move, so fast, so nice. That kind of midfielder is so crucial to have in your team. For Chelsea, it was Kovacic, but basically you just need someone who can dribble and can defend a bit, like David Silva was doing a lot. Again, we get the ball to David Silva, and that pass was so nice. Like, he got it past two people. We just couldn't get it through again with Essien, but that first pass was so good. Again, you can see all our attacks start with Pirlo, so those double Y and double A balls are so good, especially on the counter. Like with this formation, when you get the ball, you want to win the ball fast and push for the counter. If you can't counter, then you move it wide. Like here we get a really nice counter chance, and Coutinho just about doesn't manage to get that in. Who's his goalkeeper? I think it's Stegen, I'm not sure, but really good save. You can see Essien's quite dead here because he's on aggressive interceptions. Even though he has pretty decent stamina, he was pretty tired. Now you can see we work the ball out to Pedro, to a fake shot, create some really nice space. I don't know why that didn't lock onto the first man, but that was really sad. Okay, game's over. We won 2-1. So if you look at the heat maps, I just wanted to show that so you know where every player was. You can notice that Upamecano is at the half line most of the time, which shows that we had the ball a lot, and which is important. If you compare Alonso's heat map to Militao's, you'd see that Alonso's a lot higher up. Pirlo's is just in the center. He didn't play much. Coutinho, as you can see, is more like a midfielder than a winger. Look at the difference between Coutinho and Pedro. Coutinho's is a lot more central and a lot closer to the half line, whereas Pedro's is more high up. Lucas, you can see as we drop back a lot, his heat map's very dense around the center. Amanda hardly played. David Silva, again, it's very, very similar to Coutinho. Him and Coutinho had some very nice link-up play moments. Essien's was a lot more spread out because he was a box-to-box midfielder, which is, so you'd expect that. And then if you look at the passes and the dribbles, Pirlo had the most of both. Like I said, I was surprised with Militao. I didn't really expect that, but this shows how important your CDM is. So I hope you all enjoyed this video, and if there's one thing you can take away from this, it's that you need a good CDM. So thanks for watching. I hope you have a good day, and I hope these tactics really help you. Bye.